Hey folks, hi, this is Gigi and welcome back. This is episode 3 of Gigi Unfiltered, and what we will be talking about is about hitting that reset button and how a new chapter begins when we do that. So I hope you enjoy it. Join me for the ride, and thanks. Hey folks, hi, this is Gigi. Thank you for coming back. Today we're going to be talking about change and the need for reset because I recently, in creating this podcast, I also reset my YouTube channel. And what I'm doing is simultaneously I do savings challenges at the beginning of my clips, and then I usually have a quote that I talk about, and I go into detail about how I feel, what I think about it, about that. What does that mean, and where can we go from there? And the quote that I want to talk about today was sometimes because I did reset my channel. It used to be called Gigi's on a Budget. We are no longer Gigi on a Budget. We are now Gigi Unfiltered. So in doing that, I wanted to give an explanation as to why I did that, especially for my subscribers who have been very faithful and hung in there with me and continue to support me through this process. So I wanted to kind of give them a rundown and understanding as to why I did this because I felt it was important. I had some people suggest to me, why don't you do a podcast? I'm thinking, did you do a podcast? She's already doing a YouTube channel. But what I thought is really I can do a podcast on the second half of my clips and then post them later in the week and then still do my Friday chats and upload them on Sunday mornings. That's what I've been doing for the past time. I've got almost 300 subscribers. Little by little, you just gotta be consistent and be relatable. And I'm hoping to be able to provide some subject matters that people are interested in. That's kind of what we're doing here. Like I said, I did a reset, and I wanted to kind of go further explaining why I did because I felt that my subscribers would do that. I want to explain to you folks what I'm doing here and what my thought process is in regards to change because life is really about change. The one thing that's guaranteed is change. No matter what, you can't get away from it is change. Tax and death as well. Can't get out of those either. But anyway, like I said, this week's quote is sometimes you have to push the reset button and start over. Don't let your history stop your destiny. The author's unknown tonight. And when I read that, to me, it kind of matched up. Yeah, get my stuff right here. I kind of matched up. Hey, look, I'm 67 years old. I can remember everything I was saying. So sometimes I have to write down myself. So bear with me, folks, because you know what? This is Gigi and that's what we do. I'm just saying. All right, so here we go. So one of the things that I've learned, life doesn't stop teaching us. Especially if you're open and you're aware and you want to learn, when you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80s, my mom's still learning new stuff all the time. She's going to be 85 years old, rock star mom. She just continues to move forward, always curious, always learning new things. And, it's like, wow. You want to be able to do that, because once you stop growing, what happens when you stop growing? You're done. So, like I said, I've been on this journey as far as a YouTube channel for a couple of years now. The reason why I started this channel, which in turn is now involving to include this podcast, is my husband's son was going on a destination wedding out in Aruba. I knew he wanted to go. So we went ahead and my mom had told me about these savings challenges. There you go, Mom. And that's how I went ahead and started to get interested. Let me kind of move this on. I got 2 cameras here, so I'm trying to figure out what's the best way. Because one clip is like the camera's right in the middle. The other clip's kind of to the side. So let me see. Give me a moment. See, these are some of the things that you can expect in Gigi's Unfiltered. So hold on one second. Yeah, that's better. And the other you saw was just the mic. He wanted to go to destination wedding. It was going to be in Aruba. I never even heard of Aruba, but I knew I wanted to go. So we went ahead, and my mom had told me about these saving challenges. So I wanted to go ahead and do it. Sometimes I get a little parched, and I need to have a little sip. There we go. So we went ahead and did the savings challenge, and we were able to save $8,000. And we went to Aruba 10 days. Fantastic. Wedding went great. Had a great time. The weather was great. I really enjoyed myself. I would not mind going back to Aruba. But anyway, doing that savings challenges really helped me understand and be mindful, the importance of being mindful of your money, which in turn is also about being mindful with your time, which was a change. And, I was over 60 when this started. Again, you're never too old to learn new things or to change or to reset. That's doing the channel because I'm currently going to school. I go part-time. I've always had an interest in photography and videos. I had been going to school for photography, which I love. I love a a dark room. If I can get back in a dark room, love it. I love the process of filming thing. And I wanted to, so I've always had an interest in videos. And I was also going to school for photography and digital arts. Well, doing the channel really helped me bring those things into play as far as being able to that tip my braces off because I know that they click. Sorry, folks. Gigi Unfiltered. But anyway, so the video and the YouTube channel really helped me and continue to kind of develop those skills. Like you can see, I'm still working on them and also become better, become more mindful, understanding the camera, how it works, and what I need to learn and what I need to do with it. So that kind of fed into that. So I'm still going to school. I take a class here and there. I've probably been going to school probably 30 years. Still working on my AA. I would like to go to state, but we'll see. Because again, nothing's guaranteed here. I'm just enjoying what I'm doing. But since we're retired, I'm still trying to find my flow. I'm going to be 3 years retired, and there's a flow. I haven't found it yet. I'm still working on it. But anyway, that's how my Gigi on the budget came along. So it has helped us in saving for things, the trips, vacation, road trips. Now I'm saving money because Big Dog's having some major surgery. So we're taking care of that too. So lots of things have benefited from that. But when I started doing that channel, I was just doing the budget, just the dropping of money. But I found that there was other things connected to money, which is time and how you use your time, how to be mindful of your time. So that was not a reset, but it just kind of changed. So then I started adding a quote of the week, which was different quotes about time, money, life, whatever I thought was interesting to talk about, then I would go ahead and use that quote and that would be like a starting point for my conversation. And a lot of my subbies already know that. And then, or if I saw something on television, there are many times that I would drop a clip. This is what I thought, what I saw, like the personality one. The personality had episode had to do with a clip I saw on CBS, I think it was Sunday morning, about how you can change a personality. Things like that is kind of what I talk about and kind of how I drop those into play here. So now doing the podcast is shifting my YouTube channel just a little bit because I'm still dropping money because Gigi's on a budget no matter what, and she needs to continue to save money. But what I'm doing as far as when we talk about the quote, that's where it's going to shift more into the podcast part of it. So I'm still going to go ahead and drop the budget chat that I've been doing every Sunday morning. It'll still be there, but my podcast on Spotify, which will also be copied over to the YouTube podcast, will be uploaded on Tuesdays. That's kind of what I'm looking at right now. But anyway, I wanted to kind of, let my subby know, because I kind of, oh yeah, I'm changing. She's no longer on a budget. She's now unfiltered. What the hell's that? So I wanted to explain, not explain, but kind of like my reasonings that I felt that the reset was a good thing. Because I felt my channel just wasn't about budget. And what I've learned, 67 plus years, that life changes, life evolves, and sometimes you have to do a reset to either rethink about what your position is, rethink about where you want to go with this, or rethink about really the message that you want to give. And I had come up with a mission statement, which I'll put right there, which I really wanted to be able to empower people. I come from social services. That's my background. About 15 years, and then I retired from a funeral home of 7 years, an office manager, and I was in management and as in housing. And so I've always worked with people. I've always enjoyed working with people. I've always enjoyed trying to help people, and I've always been one that just gets stuff done. I'm a problem solver. I want to try to figure it out. Good, better, and different. That's just the way I work. Wait. If something don't make sense, we got to find out why. That's kind of the way I work. I enjoyed my jobs, but retirement has been something that's a change for me, and that's where I have to reset. I'm seriously thinking about getting a part-time job. That's another reset. So, like I said, sometimes you just have to push that reset button because change is going to happen no matter what. You're going to make the change, or somebody else is going to force the change on you, but change will come, whether it's our doing it or somebody else is doing it. That's just life. And if you're not going to be able to be good with change, but let me tell you something, that's not going to work out for you because things never stay the same. We could say, "Oh, this is perfect. I never wanted to change. I just love the way things are right now." No, that's not what's going to happen. Because in order to move forward, in order to learn new things, in order to grow, in order to be the best person you want to be, there has to be change. And this doesn't come easy. I'm not saying the journey is easy. No, you're always going to have challenges, and you always need to make a choice. And the fact is, you make choices every single day. Whether or not you get a bad bed every day, it's a choice. Whether or not you're going to take a shower that day, it's a choice. Whether or not you're going to brush your teeth that day, that's a choice. Whether or not you're going to get dressed, those are all the little small choices that you make every day that add up to continue to make choices throughout the day. It's just the way our brain works, So when I started going through what I was doing here, thinking, I need to kind of reset this channel a little bit because I think it is changing because it's not just about budget. I'm talking about other things. I'm talking about like curveballs I've dealt with in my life, the chaos I've dealt with in my life, things I've learned along the way, experiences I've had along the way. I share stories about my family. I share stories about my dad and his battle with dementia. Love my dad. He passed last year. It's been over a year. Talked about my mom, how she's kind of like, my mom's tough. She's a trooper, man. But she did it, and talked about, how she went through it with him, and now it's been a year. And that having worked in the funeral home is very different than when you're really dealing with the loss of your loved one. Let me tell you, I worked I worked in the back office in the contracts processing. Well, I managed the office. And I cannot tell you how many death certificates I have seen in my time there. Like thousands and thousands, because it was a busy funeral home. The time I stayed, if I saw 10,000 death certificates, I would not be, that number wouldn't surprise me. Because not only did I process death certificates, I would always look to see what was the cause, how old were these people, because each paper, each document is a story. There's a life there. It's a story. And let me tell you something. When I went, because now I'm on the other side. I was the one that's kind of taking care of everything for my mom. So now I'm going to go pick up my dad's death certificate. I went by myself. I took big. Oh no, I'll be okay. Because I pick those up all the time. I process those all the time. No biggie. I'll take care of it, man. Don't worry about it. So I went to the office, but before I even got off the car, I can already feel a shift. I don't know what it was, but I can feel it was a shift. I'm already getting almost thinking about it. And when I got off the car, these are people I worked with for many years. Managers, directors, office staff. It was a satellite office I'd been to many, many times. It's not far from my house because I worked at the cemetery, the main office. And when I got off the car and, told them why, they were expecting me. They knew why I was coming. And when I looked at his death certificate, that's when it hit me. And I think it's because that's it. That's it. My dad's my dad. I carry him with me. But that's it. That's all I got. Just a piece of paper saying who he was, what he did, because it has your job information, your education, your marital status. It has all about you in this one little piece of paper. That's it. That's it. Why you're no longer here, where you were born, all right there. That's it. Nothing else. That's it. And that's when it hit me. Fortunately for me, I don't know, because there's a great team that I worked with. I'm proud to say I was a member of this team. Katie had just the managing funeral director there. So, I felt the same way because her grandfather had just passed not too long before my dad had passed. She goes, I get it. Because now you're on the other side. So it is different. And it's those kind of stories. See, just like that. I'm not quite sure how I got my day. But those are the little stories that I like to share because I think it keeps us honest and it keeps us connected because we all are here for a certain amount of time and you want to try to make the best of it. My dad was a hard worker, he provided very hard for his family. I know if I ever, even at my age, if I wanted something from my dad, even with his dementia, I think he would know that I'm saying something to him, and he would try to help me out. But my dad always wanted his kids to know, that he was there. Whatever we needed, all we had to do was ask. He wasn't a touchy feely kind of guy. He wasn't that. The way he showed he cared, the way he showed his love for his family, at least for his kids, it was through hard work. And if we needed something, he would do whatever he could to make sure that he made that happen. That was just my dad. He was. Now with his relation with my mom, that was very different. Well, of course, that's his wife. And they've been married. They were married over 60 years. So that's a long time. But anyway, it's those type of stories that I share here because I think we're all connected, one way or another. We all live, we all die. We all come in one way, go out a different way, but we're all going out. And that's why every once in a while we have to kind of really see where are we going, what are we doing, and what am I doing here. So the resetting of the channel has really given me the opportunity. That's my dog Luna. She's underneath my desk. Sorry about that. You okay? You okay? Don't be chewing on the wires. Hold on, folks. Don't be chewing on the wires. You okay? Sorry about that. That's what I'm saying. Gigi Unfiltered. I'm sorry about that. But anyway, that's why I say every once in a while you have to do a reset because I do believe that you know that change is sometimes necessary just to kind of get your juices going again. So I just wanted my subscribers to know I'm not necessarily just walking away from what I've done in the past. As far as my channel, I'm trying to be more honest. I'm trying to be bolder. I'm trying to get more out of the box than I have in the past. Because I've always kind of been, the one in the box. I'm kind of the one that kind of was a serious one. I'm kind of the one that kind of took care of business. I'm still the kind of one that but every once in a while, you have to learn to lighten up. You have to learn to be able to take risks. You have to learn to be able to change and not be afraid of change and to take on change and be excited about it. And Luna's still on my feet, but that's okay because change matters because it wakes us up. It does. It gets your juices going, and don't be chewing my stuff. Sorry, people. It pulls us out of our comfort zone, and sometimes into areas we're not even aware of or not sure of. But the thing is, that helps us discover what we're made of, what we can do, and how far we can go. It teaches us resilience, it teaches us flexibility, and most importantly, it reminds us that we're not stuck in who we used to be. We can imagine our lives at any age. That's right. You can change at any age. Just because I'm 67 years old doesn't mean I have to stay this way. I can be whoever I want to be. Look, notice I got my hair cut? Yeah, because you know what? I wanted to change. I was tired of the pain. It was getting too much and just. And you know what? People, oh, it's so short. It's going to grow. It's not a big, I know some females are very particular about their hair, but that's not me. And when I first got my hair, this when I buzzed it was during COVID. I couldn't get in to get my hair cut because everything was shut down. So I had been thinking about, buzzing my hair for some time. So, because I had about this length and I was dyeing it, doing the whole thing. And because I couldn't get in anywhere. So I asked Big Dog, I go, do you think you can buzz it for me? Oh, yeah, yeah, right. He did it 3 times and he liked the look. And I had always wanted to do it. So I liked the look. So guess what? The look stayed. I didn't start coloring it until I was retired. And I did it for my baby girls, pink for my girls. So spring and summer is when I usually had the pink. But usually after I kept it longer because I was at a Barbie party, which I'll share a podcast on that at a later date as well. But, um, that's what I'm saying. It's just about change and not being afraid to do that. Because I can still remember when I walked into the office after I buzzed my hair, it was zoop. Man, that's short, but they said, that looks good. Well, thank you very much. I think so too. So I think I'll keep it. So even though my channel's changing and I'm now showing up unfiltered, I'm sharing my journey, the joy, the chaos, and lessons of laughter. Because you know what? Gigi likes to laugh. I'll still be talking about budgeting, saving, and life hacks. Not about life hacks, but I guess I do talk about life hacks. But I'm also opening the door wider, letting you into the heart of my story. You like that? The heart of my story? Because there's beauty in the mess, and power in the pivot. That's right, baby. You own your power. So If you're on your own path, big or small, I see you. I'm walking it too. Let's do this together. Hit the subscribe, join the conversation, and let's embrace this wild, beautiful ride, one unfiltered moment after another. Because this is Gigi, and this is what change looks like. So I hope you're here again, and I hope you enjoy this. This is a short little podcast that we're doing today. Because I really, like I said, I wanted to give my subbies a reason why I was changing, and also let my podcasters. What do you call you guys? Subbies? What do you call? Are you still subbies over here? Are you podcasting? What do I call you guys over here? I guess I need to find that out. Who is this Gigi? What the hell is she talking about? Well, I'm talking about change. I'm talking about life. I'm talking about money. I'm talking about chaos, finding the joy in chaos, and just living life out loud, which is what I'm trying to do really, really hard. Because, like I said, I was always kind of in the box, but Gigi ain't in the box no more because she's unfiltered. So, be careful. So, I hope you folks enjoyed this little podcast here. I'm thinking that's how I'm going to end. And remember, this is the quote of the week. Sometimes you have to push the reset button and start over. Don't let your history stop your destiny. That's right. Do not allow your history to dictate who you are, who you're going to be, or where you're going to go. What it does teach you is where you've been. And if you know you don't want to go back there anymore, then you got to hit the reset button. You hear me? All right, folks. Until next week, tits up. This is Gigi. I'm out. See you, folks. Tits up.
We're getting ready. Getting ready at the dance floor. So turn the lights on. You know it's what we're here for. We're moving like a wolf pack. Feel the bass attack.